Moving on then to the EU and Brexit. And well, today and tomorrow, the wonderful Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, oh, sorry, I get this wrong. Let's start again. Starting tomorrow, because we'll talk about our wonderful Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs in a second, but starting tomorrow is the informal meeting of foreign ministers in Warsaw in Poland, and that's going to be headed up by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Radosław Sikorski, together with the High Representative of the European Union, Kaja Kallas, who will... they're organising this informal meeting of EU foreign ministers in what's known as the Gymnich format, if I pronounced that correctly. Now, the meetings of this kind have been held since 1974, and their purpose, according to the EU, is to have an informal and open discussion among ministers on strategic issues. So let's come on to our wonderful Secretary of State, because, of course, he is going to be there. Now, he, of course, is talking about it. There's somebody else that isn't talking about it, but this is David Lammy. He's going to be there. The person who isn't talking about it, of course, is Nigel Farage, who seems to be absolutely silent on the issue. But Lammy had this to say: we're working hand in hand with our European allies to build a safer, more secure and more prosperous Europe. Fantastic. So he's going there to underline how closer cooperation on security and defence is in the interest of both the UK and the European Union. And he's going to discuss uniting across the continent to secure a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. He was the first foreign secretary since Brexit to attend any formal meeting of EU foreign ministers. That was last October. And he's been working hard to build these stronger ties with Europe since he became Foreign Secretary. So now as part of his visit, he is going to be following that by heading over to Bosnia and Herzegovina, where he's going to visit EU4 military headquarters. And that is significant because that's where EU troops first wore the EU flag on their arms, as we can see on screen here. It's also where the Union flag was flown beneath the EU flag, as we can see here. And it's also where EU troops were given EU4 medals a few years back. So, it is a fairly significant thing. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, Charles, but it just is incredible to me that we are going to have a major summit later this month with Ursula von der Leyen and the European Commission, with a view to, as the BBC likes to say, reset our relationship with the European Union. We've got this closer and closer integration and this drive for EU defence union and virtue signalling by heading off to EU4 headquarters and so on, but from David Lammy, and total silence from certain sections of the political class in this country.
It does, on the face of it, seem completely remarkable that can be the case in both respects. But remarkable that despite the fact we have left, apparently, the European Union, that we could be clamouring to climb back in, but also, as exactly like you say, that people should be quiet about it. But for especially now with what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, for that to be the sort of the dual effort for a push eastwards with NATO and a push absolutely everywhere with the EU, it's an awful lot for a lot of armed forces that don't really have much to say for themselves in terms of their firepower and capability at the moment, I'd say.
Absolutely. We'll be talking more about that in extra later on after the programme.